Shalom Chavrim, I'm Steve Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live, and we have been following ABC News' live coverage. They have some very good, well-positioned people in the path of Hurricane Michael, and they are, of course, reporting from two different key locations, Panama City Beach, and also when you go towards, let me just kind of show you Mexico Beach there, the eye wall has come on shore. And if we jump over to Google Maps right here, I just want to give you a bird's eye view here. Panama City is where the crew is. It's on speaking there now. They lost their crew, and I didn't know if the crew was in Mexico Beach or if it was in Port St. Joe. I forget exactly where they talked about. The eye wall literally has come across just like this here. So Panama City Beach has gotten more of the left side of the storm, but storm surge is extremely high. The one young lady that was down towards Mexico Beach, she was on a third floor, and she is talking about the storm surge being only 10 foot from their, roughly about 10 feet from their room. And she spoke about seeing a house just completely going down the street, an entire house. So very, very dangerous storm. No doubt from just a guesstimation of what they were estimating the distance from that third floor there, that they were 10 feet from that particular spot there. Storm foot surge no doubt was probably about 6 to 8 feet already at that point there. They are expecting as high as expecting as high as 14 foot of storm surge. As you can see, the satellite image are showing us right now there. The eye is on shore, the rear of the eye starting to come on shore as well. So those places that are in the eye of the storm between Panama City and Mexico Beach there, they will soon be out of the calm, and then those tail-end winds that are extremely high will once again be blowing. ABC did lose their feed for the people down there towards Mexico Beach. So I'll let you know just how serious that eastern side of the storm was. I mean, if they were able to keep it in Panama City, I can only imagine the people down there towards Mexico Beach there, they really, really were being hammered in an unbelievable way. They did make contact with them, though, to find out that they are safe. They said they've just lost the ability to broadcast the images because the storm is so severe. So very, very difficult situation there, and they're showing from the Twitter at Reed Timmer ACCU. That's a Twitter feed they're showing up there right now. It's a dangerous storm, very dangerous storm. And now the thing is, it is on track to barrel right into Tallahassee, and there's already been discussion that this is right within 1 mile an hour of being a Cat 5 hurricane. And so they said they will have to go back and examine the wind footage of this storm to see if indeed it actually does make it to a Cat 5 as it was making landfall. And what's strange, though, is it's making landfall, how the winds were still increasing in this storm. The bar is going down to 933. Let's listen into this just for a moment.
The biggest change I've noticed about in the past half hour is just this wind you see is now constant. There is no break in these wind gusts, and they keep getting stronger and stronger. We were out there not too long ago, and I've had to keep moving further inside under the hotel awning just to stay safe. And it's a good thing we did. The second we moved inside, a huge sign from down the street ripped off its foundation, came barreling down just behind us. So we're staying more inside for now. And again, the biggest change is just these winds are intense.
I believe this is Panama City, if I'm not mistaken.
Whipping past your ears nonstop.
So, and Meg, you've been there for several hours this morning. When did people start to move off the streets, and when did you really have the feel that everybody was hunkered down inside?
You know, I have to say, at first there was some draw to be outside, the anticipation. We were out here, like I said, since 3 a.m. this morning when it was still relatively quiet, and that's when you saw a lot more people, especially media, outside.
So anyway, this is where we're at right now with the hurricane. And we just wanted to kind of share that with you, our own viewers there, because we know many of you from different parts of the world that may not be paying as much attention to the hurricane itself there. And it just brings back a lot of memories for me. Like I said, I can remember Hurricane Camille, which had much higher winds even than this hurricane does here. And it was just an amazing feat there. Remember after the hurricane going down the shoreline there of Alabama and Mississippi, and seeing huge boats on shore from that particular hurricane. And so a lot of things just stick out in the memory. Of course, the rainfall. I remember our front yard was like a lake, and we were able to go swimming in that, So at least for a little guy like me, it was a lake. And all the other hurricanes through life that I've been through, tornadoes, etc. So I always find it fascinating to watch these, but yet at the same time realize the dangers of these hurricanes. And of course, everything becomes a flying projectile. I can remember my mother showing me the pine needles from pine trees become like they can penetrate it through into a tree's trunk, almost like a needle going into a human flesh. Amazing at what the speed of the wind can do. And when you're looking at that fast of wind speeds, that's like a gigantic tornado almost coming on shore there. Because some tornadoes, that's kind of like where their wind speeds are. So anyway, we just wanted to update you, let you see this thing is on shore. It is moving, and it is, of course, headed barreling right towards Tallahassee. And I can only imagine that the wind speeds, if they remain even at 100, say 100, if it drops down to 130 miles an hour, Tallahassee is going to be decimated by this storm. And just kind of makes you wonder, too, as you watch this, how does a hurricane grow so rapidly, so fast, and in such powerful strength? I'm sure conspiracy theorists will be out there and discussing this, whether or not this storm was helped in any way to bring about the natural disaster, as they would call it, across the United States, and exactly what that may entail, how that can, whether it impacts the economy negatively or whether it's a lot of people get rich off of these storms as well. It's still a disaster regardless, even if it's just a natural phenomena. It is definitely a very serious situation there. Anyway, I'm Steve Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. Just taking a peek at these things as we see this thing come on shore. And of course, we are in Orlando, Florida. It's cloudy outside. We got some nice little winds here. And of course, it is attributed to the storm because not that we are in the bands of the storms, but as that storm is sucking up the rain clouds and stuff that feed it, they're, of course, coming across central Florida here, South Florida, and feeding into the storm itself. I'm Stephen Ben-Nun with Israeli News Live. Shalom.